Good evening, everybody. We got here a 1v1 Arabia matchup between Villese and Vinchester. So let's get right into the players. We do have in the blue playing as the Berbers, Villese. So very strong cavalry civilization. Got strong camels as well. And then in the purple, the Sicilians, one of the newer civilizations, no longer the newest, but still trying to get figured out and still an interesting pick. So we do have Vinchester there. Let's take a look at the maps. Very, very easy walls for Vinchester. That should be no trouble at all. And when we take a look at Villese, same sort of deal. Both of these maps, very tight little wallable bases. I think overall fairly fair. We do have a forward gold, but of course, because that gold is still within walling distance, we should be okay there. And then a very safe gold for Vinchester as well. There's a little bit of aggression between the scouts and just trying to be annoying here and there is Vinchester. In the meantime, Villese is going to try to scout out the enemy as well, as both of them are up to the next age. So I will slow down now that they're both on their way up to feudal, and we will be seeing walls coming up from the two players. Interesting of Villese actually to just make this small little walled off area even smaller. Real tight base, fantastic looking base right there. Vinchester is going to go straight to the edge of the map, so he will be forcing the enemy to run either near the town center or directly underneath the town center, unless he can loop around real quick. So of course, both of them walled up. We do have a barracks already on the way up for both of the players as well. And not too much on gold for either one of them, so probably gonna see some scout play from the players. A couple extra shots, so a little bit of an advantage for Vinchester, but of course once they hit the next age, we will see the advantages start to steamroll for whoever it is that gets ahead. So Sicilians going for the stable to begin with, and then also a stable for the Berbers. These are both pretty standard plays for these civilizations. And we will see a couple of spearmen coming out defensively, with Villese just slightly ahead with that spearman coming out, but do expect to see Vinchester bringing out a couple spearmen as defensive as possible. And even a spearman coming across right now for Villese, so scouting around, trying to keep the aggression on as much as possible. There are already two scouts out for Vinchester, still not a second one out for Villese, but this spearman will be able to do quite a bit of damage if needed. So Villese in an alright position right now. Vinchester is going to be scouting around. Both of them going to be trying to get up to the next age. Interesting enough, Villese has not gone for any additional scouts. Not too much on food either. He does have 5 farms. He also has a couple villagers sitting on the sheep there. A little bit more of a farming economy right off the bat for Vinchester, just to keep up this scout production. But as you can see, the food count is really coming into account there. And so Vinch is probably wondering, you know, what is the plan for the enemy right here? Not too sure yet, so he is going to switch over into archers. He's got a couple scouts out. We'll be able to do a little bit of damage. 5 scouts is nothing to joke around about, but will it be enough? Because right now, Villese is starting to get to a point where he's going to be saving up for the next age, and Vinch is very, very far behind. So Vinchester going to try and look to be as aggressive as possible. Both of these players going for wheelbarrow, getting their economy up and running. Palisade wall is getting attacked, but that should be no problem for Villese to wall behind. Just a little bit of a house there. And now the countdown has started already to get to the next age. And Vinchester very far away. He is starting to mass up archers whenever he can. But will it be enough? He needs to be aggressive and he needs to get a little bit of a victory. He needs either a pick off or at least big delays. Because once Castle Age is hit for the enemy, there will be knights coming out, and it looks like Castle Age will be able to hit as soon as this villager is created. Of course, the blacksmith is in the back, the stable is here. We do have fletching archers coming forward now, so Vinchester is going to try his best to keep the aggression going. He's going to try to take out as much as possible, but he's a long ways up. Long ways till he gets up. So a easy little pick off there for Villese. He does hit that scout. And now with these two archers, it's going to be harder to wall behind these palisades that are getting hit down. But these archers likely won't be picking out any villagers, but they will just be denying the wall off behind. Obviously, feudal age archers with fletching, they're strong, but they're unable to do too much as far as range or attacks. So bloodlines and the first defense already coming in, and we will see two stable knights coming out for Villese. Vinchester must know at this point in time the enemy is going up to the next age, and he's going to be seeing knights coming straight against him as the scout and the spearman is forward for Villese, but only a little bit. Might be able to actually pick off this archer with the scout and the spear, but the archer doing a good job picking off the scout first. The spearman now having to run away, so you know, just little wins there that do get the advantages. And ooh, severely housed is Vinchester, as two stable knights are on their way, and now when Vinchester has to think, it's going to be quite a while till he's up in the next age. He has just clicked up now, so he knows that these knights will be coming out, and they will be very strong against him. These two knights will be able to take out these scouts, no problem, but he chooses instead to chase down the archers. So smart of Vinchester to make his way back to the base, back home, and safe, as a second stable is up and a second archery range for Vinchester. Still maintaining archer production. He wants to get to that mass of archers so that he can fight off these knights. That's pretty much all that he's got going for him at this point in time. Of course, the knights will be trying to get a little bit of advantage here or there, but with the walls he needs to hit quick. There's obviously 4 knights on attacking from either side, and then 2 more coming in from behind. It's a possibility that you know, there might be something like an overchop here, but doesn't look like that's gonna quite happen yet. Vinch is being attacked on all sides, but these archers will be able to provide a little bit of defense. Vinch gonna be open here if he doesn't wall up quick. The knights are into the wood line, and knights will be able to pick off villagers like crazy. So yes, there are scouts here trying to engage against that monk, but I don't think Vinch has noticed this. Oh my goodness, this is catastrophic for him. He is in the next age. He is upping to crossbows, but he's going to need quite a few crossbows, and he's going to need them in the back of his base right now. Now, the town center fire will be able to negate the knights for now. Crossbows as well, and a knight in here, able to somewhat avoid destruction, as there is a 3 villager lead right now for Villese. Vinch did safely defend. He is going up for his second town center now, and we take a look at Villese. He still is just on 1, but his second town center is already on the way, and so it will go into more of a later game, as both of them looking to expand their economy just a little bit, get whatever advantage they can out of their economy. But when we take a look militarily, the advantage does go to Vinchester, and as these crossbows get to that high number, they will become more and more strong. But this low of a number can get taken out by a group of knights, no problem. They need to get to that critical mass that people always are talking about to get a real good advantage. And I think, as a matter of fact, that Villese could probably take this fight with all his knights. Let those scouts run forward and turn around and attack these knights and crossbows. 5 knights versus 8, plus the ones that are sitting at home. But there is instead a second TC going up, or I guess a third overall, as the knight actually able to get a couple of Vill picks here for Villese. So Villese has been very good with his aggression and picking off the economy of the enemy. But these scouts going to be able to take out this monk. Oh, the monk just able to get away, just able to get inside, and Villese will allow this town center to go up. Villagers is 7 villager lead right now for Villese, but he has half the military as the enemy. So it is getting to that point where Villese needs to delay as long as possible. He needs to pick his fights and only pick good fights, because he's now unable to really engage against this many crossbows with the meat shield in front of knights. So both of the players are collecting up little bits of stone. It will be definitely castles going up for both players. Villese only at 273, whereas Vinchester is already at 350 stone, so he will be dropping a castle just that much sooner than the enemy. So they will be looking to get some castle defense. I mean, I would love to see camel archers. The likelihood is very, very low, especially with all of these crossbows. But it is a possibility further down the line. Likely, though, Berbers just going to keep producing those cheap knights. And a mangonel coming out, so the mangonel will be able to engage against the crossbows. One good shot and this game could be over. Look at all these crossbows. 18 crossbows, one good shot, and that is it. These scouts too, well worth it. They have got quite a bit of delays and they have really done a good job. And a knight is through. The overchop did happen. Vinch walls out the line that was chasing the knights, and just like that, Villese is in once again, picking off villagers, and there's a 20 villager lead right now for the Berber player, and a castle right on his face. So what will be the answer from Villese? Well, Villese does not quite have the stone to make a counter castle. Is this it? This is the engagement. The Berber knights, very cheap, able to engage. All these crossbows are trying to get as much of a surround avoided as possible, but the mangonel is just too late. The castle goes up. The crossbows are in on the other side, picking off villagers. Still a massive lead, though, for the Berber player. Does he know about the lead that he has? And where is he going to drop his castle? He now has the stone for it. He is moving his entire economy away from the center of his base. So, bit up in the air right now, and he is going to go on the offensive. He knows the only way he's winning this is by destroying the economy of the enemy. I don't think he realizes just how big of an advantage he has right now with his villager count. 20 villager lead, still collecting so much stone. Would love to see a castle in response, but no castle yet. Instead, the knights choosing to fight underneath this town center. At this point in time, +2 defense, you can fight right underneath the town center. No worries about it. But the crossbow is going to be back on the wood line, and the wood line will definitely have to be evacuated as villagers are fleeing for their lives. Mangonel's coming forward for Villese, and the knights choosing to run away for now, as the mangonels can just sit back and attack the town center. a second castle now right on the town center, and Villese still hasn't placed his first castle. So at this point in time, I don't know if Villese can last long enough to make it worthwhile. The crossbows do fall to the knights, but this castle right on the farming economy of Villese will take out a couple villagers real quick. And Villese able to engage right underneath the town center, thinking of taking out the villagers, and the villagers having to run from the knights. Never a good situation to be in. As one mangonel does fall to that knight, so that is a big move. And Villese luckily still has two town centers. This one over here has fallen, and the castle getting placed on this wood line here. He does need safe wood, so that is a good move, but I'm not sure if I like the move fully because there's not too much he can do. The GG is called, and you know what? Vinch is the one that resigns. Interesting. Goes to show that sometimes, you know, you think you're so far behind, but I would say at this point in time, sure, Villese had the lead. Vinch was winning.